People of the Diddy documentary, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, baby, they coming out in droves. And Aubrey O'Day of Diddy Kane is coming out and spilling even more behind the scenes tea and providing extra commentary on the Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Let's get into this. Shout out to the Closet Ratchet for grabbing all of these screenshots on Instagram. So listen to what it said. Shanique said, I felt so bad watching that. Here's the thing. I'm setting it up. Aubrey was replying to people's comments, but she let some tea spill about what happened in the Southern District of New York, the case, and the way she sacrificed everything in an effort to make sure that Diddy could be held accountable legally. And then that the dumb jury somehow messed it up. I hope it is clear for everybody that we all see what I saw in court. Diddy wasn't let go because they didn't have enough evidence. They were let go because the jury was full of people that don't see no problem with women getting beat on and are fangirling, thinking they friends. Yeah, I was not and he was not. And it was just like Naked and the Band when I was like, do you see this? And he was like, yep. Imagine you let the boogeyman go because he let you think you were friends. And guess what, girl? You still ain't friends. You still ain't. Even though, honestly, somebody check her bank account. I'm not saying she did. But ever since that documentary, I've been looking at those jurors a little different. Somebody just check the accounts. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But check the accounts. Anyway, right? So one person on Twitter said, I felt so bad watching that documentary. Finding out from a stranger via affidavit that you were passed out and violated by two men is beyond traumatizing. Can't imagine how anyone even starts to process that. Aubrey said, when I got to the point of reaching out to the people around then to confirm her presence, certain details, and guess what? She reached out and confirmed certain details, and they were confirmed. And that's what made Aubrey be like, oh my God, I don't want to know. She said, soon after I was called in by the Homeland Security, they asked me not to speak about our meeting in the case I would be subpoenaed. And I was informed by the lawyers involved that victims cannot communicate with other victims or the case could be compromised, aka you will never get down to the bottom line. I stayed up and watched the clock strike 12 on the day of the extension of the law in New York expired, knowing I would never be able to pursue legal justice ever again due to the statute of limitations, and I still remain burdened with questions. She said, somebody said, I listened to an old interview she gave shortly after the band, Aubrey gave after the band broke up, and Shannon dead ass always loved you. Aubrey then said, Shannon was the only Diddy Kane member who refused to go back after he fired me. And Diddy even called her personally and told her he would make her the Aubrey of the group. Her intuition and bits of information she had observed, alongside the fact that Puff thought he could make anyone me, as if he is responsible for my talent and everything I bring to the table, directed her character. I always admired her group mentality and the type of responsibility and dedication she took seriously to always act within the best interest of the group. She always was the heartbeat of the band. Okay, so that's an interesting little tidbit too. I've always felt that Aubrey and Dom Richards weren't that cool. Even how I think Diddy Kane said they were having a reunion and Dom's not invited. A lot probably went on with Diddy Kane and with Day 26. I know when they was talking about Diddy, they was breaking up crying in the interviews. I will say this, and this is just me selfishly wanting to see things work out. I hope that whatever's going on with Diddy Kane and Day 26, this will be the perfect time for everybody that is under Diddy's grasp to go out on a reunion tour and to perform new music and even old music if they can get around the copyright. But I feel like now that this documentary dropped, I would really love to see Day 26 and Diddy Kane get together for a reunion tour and do the damn thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Either that or I'd like to get them all together and them sue the bejesus off of Diddy, but whatever happens. Another person said, who's Kirk Burroughs? Bad Boy founder speaks his truth in Sean Combs' documentary. While working alongside Diddy, Burroughs took handwritten notes which are shown for the first time in the doc. Aubrey said, Andre, Sean, and Clive Davis let him run the company, from the money to all the contracts. This is Aubrey, when you ask who Kurt Burris is. He also managed Mary and bought her career back when she lost everything. If you Google the co-founders of Bad Boy, Kurt has literally been wiped off the map for the truth of who he was and the roles he played as the co-founder of Bad Boy. That's very interesting. Everybody act like Kurt Burrows is like a nothing, an accountant, a groupie. That man was institutional to not only finding Bad Boy, but at the end of the day, you can have a lot of creativity. You can have a lot of dreams. But at the end of the day, you need business people. You need money people. You need a corporate, you need your business co-partner to actually go out there and make things work. Aubrey already also said Emmy Award-winning Alex Stapleton put her all into producing a full picture of a complex man. Vanessa did the damn thing too. This wasn't a sensationalized, messy, rush hit job like other docs. 50 is not in the film. He's not sworn enemies with Sean. He's taken a stand for those in the hip-hop culture that don't agree with Sean's actions and don't want to silence themselves into complicity. This documentary will serve as a history book to future generations and hopefully create a shift in the abuses occurring in the imbalance of power and what has been the standard operating procedure of staying silent if you want to keep your career. Amen to that. Listen, Aubrey is a real one for standing up for herself, but also standing up for survivors. And you know what? For everybody criticizing her, saying that she didn't do enough, right? She didn't do A, she didn't do B, she didn't do C. Let me just tell y'all are tripping. Aubrey rang the bell on Diddy long before any of us thought she was serious. She was blacklisted. We saw her be ridiculed. On Making of the Band, we saw Diddy bully and harass that little girl. Aubrey was a baby back then, okay? When she finally came out and said what happened and what type of... We collectively ignored it. The media laughed. It became the butt of jokes. She was just hating. Oh my God. When the truth was always there. So now that everybody's willing to listen, why should Aubrey be like, how come you didn't? She did. And she's still doing. And I have been critical of Aubrey in the past because I didn't understand the weird beef between her and Dawn. And every time Dawn said something, she would try to undercut Dawn. But then again, I do sit back and say, she was there. I wasn't. At the end of the day, Aubrey, Dawn, Day 90 Kane, Day 26, everybody in the Bad Boy circle from Mace on down has been doing their best to tell us who this mofo is. And now, finally, in 2025, everybody is listening with both ears open and both eyes wide, waiting for more. So at the end of the day, kudos for Aubrey for literally always standing on the truth and screaming from the rooftop for ages over who Sean Diddy Combs really was. Anyway, you guys, listen, make sure you watch the documentary. It's #1, I think, in every country. They expect 900 million views. It's going to be Emmy nominated. Netflix, 50 Cent, Alexandria, Vanessa, and all the people that actually had the courage to sit down, the victims, the people that knew them, the people that had the courage. Shout out to them. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. It's going to be a busy day. We need to talk about Biggie and this lie that the Breakfast Club is pushing about Diddy paying for Biggie's funeral. I already got the receipts. I'll see y'all in a second. Bye.